Good morning. How y'all doing? Yeah. Uh I know I said I'll probably do some stuff after my 20 weeks, but this stuff going on with my brother, I wanted to make sure I popped in today to just add a little respect to my brother Kasim's name. And so today's show is going to be all about brother Kasim. You do see the banner scrolling across the bottom. To donate to our brother Kasim to continue his work in the community. You can see your Cash App there. And I got a special guest joining me today, so be right back.
Determination to change the nation, I'm manifesting the truth. Back in the booth to give you the messages that's been channeling right through me. No, I'm not Jesus, although my spirit is great. I'm eating my food without a plate, escaping this place through my meditations. New life begun when I reloaded the gun and realized where I was from was not too far from the sun. Like somewhere close by the moon. Now I'm connected like Zoom. On walks of life that ever lived, call me like out of the blue. So I just pass it to you, right through your speakers with clues. And if you choose to free your mind, then you will have all the tools. But I can't make you take it and shake it and mentally break yourself out. Cause freeing your mind without a doubt is something you have to try out. But once you see the light, your might, and all the power you've had, then you have reached the fifth dimension and you can brighten your path. But others who choose to follow the red pills, it's harder to swallow. Or you can wallow in your sorrows, feeling all empty and hollow. The only way you'll see the truth is if it's starting with you. So please stop lying to yourself, start being truthful to you. The only way you'll see the truth is if it's starting with you. So please stop lying to yourself, start being truthful to you, to you.
Woo-wee! Good morning. Yeah, it's 10 o'clock in the morning. I got a lot of running and stuff to do today, but I wanted to take this brief moment to go over some stuff about my brother Kasim. That's right. I've been seeing all the local news people talk about Bud and his security team. And we definitely love Crawford. That's our guy. But I want to put some respect and a name and a face to what they call in security team is one of our heroes. This is a real life superhero in our community. Yeah. And like she said, Adrian, leave us the fuck alone. That's right. That's right. Stacy Jean, good morning. Hey, yo, David, DeMarcus, all of y'all, brother Stupo, Joshua L. Stupo. We own it. That's right. We own it. So before I get started, I also want to bring up my special guest that'll be on stage with me, another Shabazz that y'all know all too well, that told the sheriff, we will not allow you to murder our children. To his face, brother Jahi Shabazz. Okay? And so before we get into the conversation with brother Jahi, I want to share some stuff with y'all so that way you understand the depth of what's going on in North Omaha. And I want you to understand that these people are fully aware of who Kasim is, okay? And I want to just show these quick videos, just real quick, about how I know they know who brother Kasim is, okay? Good morning, everybody. So let's just start with this video. I got probably about 5 or 6 quick clips, and then we're going to share some pictures and stuff, and then we're going to talk about the root cause of the problem with brother Jahi. Okay? Give me 1 second.
You always got to go the extra.
Okay.
Right? But
so this video is a video of Kasim. The Black Agenda Alliance bought 8 acres of land. And this video is a white woman calling the police on Kasim because she was mad that he was on the land and he wouldn't talk to her and give her no explanation on what he was doing. Okay.
Kasim Shabazz, man. So I just want to let y'all, we living in 2022. This is shit we go through. We bought a bunch of land. Yeah, we bought a bunch of land. And I had some white people come over and decide they were going to call the police on me for bringing debris from the other side. I want to block off some areas. You can turn the camera. Okay. So what I'm doing is I'm taking debris and I'm blocking off certain areas for community cleanup we're getting ready to do up here. And they decided they wanted to come over here and tell me what we can do on our land.
Summer of unrest in Omaha following the killing of George Floyd in Minnesota.
Right here.
Black
This
Agenda
is about-
Alliance works to
about
uplift the black
buying
community
land, the
and
Black
make
Agenda
change.
Alliance.
6 News' John Chapman reports organizers believe buying land in the community is a big step toward helping young people in North Omaha.
8 acres of land just south of 37th and Forest Lawn. Black Agenda Alliance leaders tell us their organization now owns the property. Organizers say the purchase is the result of a promise made to the community after the summer of unrest in Omaha, following the killing of George Floyd in Minnesota and the shooting death of 22-year-old protester James Scurlock here in Omaha.
That was at the top of the list, is that we needed land. We needed farmland. We needed somewhere where we could grow and build.
The plan is to put an acre or two of farmland here and build a youth facility for youth programming. Organizers do plan to keep the ecosystem intact in order to teach children in underserved communities about nature.
That's just the point, you know, so those resources we don't have in North Omaha, and a lot of what you see with the crime rate and stuff like that are due to the lack of resources or due to the lack of education that's been put out. Leaders of
Okay.
He's gearing up for his first event at Culture House aimed at teaching people gun safety.
If you're going to take the process of carrying, then you should do it the right way.
Through his organization, the Black Agenda Alliance, Shabazz says the firearm safety and usage seminar will give access to this kind of knowledge to a community often on the receiving end of gun violence.
The lack of knowledge when it comes to the guns have everything to do with the lack of resources that are available to the community.
Listen, y'all, and this is just the tip of it, okay? This is some of the stuff this brother has been doing, so I don't want to hear nobody talk about they don't know who Kasim is. They do know. Oh, we got more. Hold on one second.
To a misunderstanding.
6 News' John Chapman unravels the details for us tonight.
We paid to be in this parade.
Confrontation between police and a legally armed group marching in this year's Juneteenth parade. Were you surprised when you were stopped by the police?
No.
Why not?
And, you know, I think, I don't know, I think it's just a part of being black.
But Omaha police and organizers of the parade, the NAACP, say this all started with a misunderstanding about something that happened earlier when they stopped an armed.
It wasn't a misunderstanding. They let us stand there for 3 hours with our guns, and as soon as we started marching, then they stopped us twice. And we had like 50 kids with us, and we had intel that they were talking about trying to shoot up the parade, and we wanted to make sure we was protecting the kids, so that's why we had the guns. Oh, but there's more. Hold on.
My phone out of record quick enough, but I wasn't quick. I really had that often. I'm gonna have it with you today. I just got stopped by the police. He claimed he was doing I tried to get my phone out of record quick enough, but I wasn't quick enough. I wasn't quick enough on the phone piece. So I'll just give you what happened. Said he stopped me. Said there was a car in the area, fit my description. You know, I asked him for his badge number and stuff like that, and let him know that I was going to file a complaint. That if he didn't issue me a ticket, then I was going to file a complaint of harassment to the Omaha Police Department. HR usually get on those cases right away.
Okay, so that's another one. And here's one of the main ones that happened earlier this year.
That changed the plan radically in a moment's notice.
You see what? Did you ever?
All I know is you better get convicted. I don't give a fuck about none of that. You've been collaring these motherfuckers every fucking week. This is the first time I've been in some shit like this. This is a motherfucking mess. Ain't nothing changed. This motherfucker done shuffled motherfuckers who can kill people into the sheriff's department. You call that fucking change? Fuck all that shit, y'all motherfuckers don't scare me. Get my face. I want to let y'all know that. No, fuck all y'all.
Y'all motherfuckers don't scare me. Get in my face. Fuck all y'all. And you know who was in that room? The top Omaha police, the FBI, the state trooper, the Douglas County Sheriff's Department. Yeah, they was all in that room earlier this year when Brother Kasim said, none of y'all scare me. Y'all can get in my face. Fuck all y'all. Okay? Again, they don't know who Kasim is. Oh, wait, hold on.
Bud out of the vehicle at gunpoint. I spoke with the head of Crawford Security this afternoon, who says he's still shaken up.
I thought we were getting ready to lose our lives. That was a nightmare. You know, future husband, just had a brand new child and, you know, children and, you know, and stuff like that. And to know that I almost lost my life last night because we had a police officer that don't know how to articulate a traffic stop.
Okay. Also, recognized by the state as the only black flag football team in Omaha, in Nebraska. Okay. Let's not pretend here, guys. Let's not pretend here. Okay. And the reason why I'm showing all this stuff is because I want y'all to understand that this is all a fucking game that they're playing with us in our community and with my brother Kasim. Okay. This is not, we didn't know who neither one of them was. First of all, we know they knew who Bud was. And from those videos, if you want to go to my TikTok, to his page, all that, that's where this stuff is from. And it's got hundreds and thousands of views. And like I said, with the gun seminars he's been doing, all the stuff he's been doing in the community, there's no way they didn't know who Kasim was. And what's crazy to me now that the chief says we are all blowing it out of proportion. So I guess it's okay over a traffic stop, speed and reckless driving, whatever the fuck you want to call it, over a traffic stop, that now it's okay to point guns at the heads of our community people just because you've seen a black man that told you he has a firearm. Oh, yeah. See this picture here. He was given an award as an innovator through the Malcolm X Foundation. Okay. Okay. Wait. We ain't done yet. Oh, Ready RP, him and his son wrestling. Him talking to a bunch of young men. This is what he do. See, this is the part they don't like. The guns, we armed, we ready. See? Again, a community member in our community with the children. Let me blow that up so y'all can see it. Okay? With the children. All right? With the guns. Black empowerment. What do you see here? Malcolm X books, Breonna Taylor. This is Kasim. This is what he do. Our superhero in our community, boots on the motherfucking ground. Okay? In the projects, handing out Malcolm X books. You see that? Okay? In the projects. At Cubby's, handing out Malcolm X books, hitting the streets, boots on the ground. All right? We're not going to pretend like we don't know who Kasim is. We're not pretending that. We done. And I know that sometimes our community can get distracted from different things. You know, we get distracted, and next thing you know, we talking about something else. But this ain't going to be one of them, okay? I want y'all to understand that this brother has sacrificed years of his life to do this stuff. Years. And so that's why I wanted today to make sure that we are putting some respect on his name. I want y'all to put a face to this image that y'all call Bud's security team. This is Kasim facing off with the police that day of the Juneteenth parade, okay? Face to face with the police. This is him after Janidi Ibrahim was murdered with us, Robert Wagner, Brother Jahi, Omaha Sentinel Force, a well-known security team that does high-profile security for celebrities. This is one of the Black women gun seminars that we held. This is him sitting here with children at the bench in the cold. Okay? Come on now. Juneteenth flag in front of the church with the children. Again, with the children at the basketball court. Kasim. This is him with Bud Crawford. Kasim. Kasim with Cornel West, who ran for president in 2024. Okay? Top security. Kasim with Ashley Spivey, who is now the senator. Top security. Kasim with Malcolm X's daughter. Okay? When she come into town, there's nobody else she called but Kasim. Let's stop pretending. Kasim with Malcolm X's daughter and Ernie Chambers. All right? So I don't want none of this pretend bullshit that nobody and people acting like they don't know Kasim, who he is, and how important he is to our community. Very, very important person. If we would have lost Kasim that day, I can't even say what I would do. I was so upset that night when it happened. I just couldn't imagine losing my brother, man, because he's very important to me. And here's where you can donate to the Urban Survival Club. If you got Cash App, send it. If you need PayPal links and all that stuff, we can provide that too. But the importance of Kasim in this community, boots on the ground, listen to me. There's hardly anybody else that's more important when it comes to this. That is my brother, okay? And we're going to protect him at all costs. So please put some respect on Bud's security team. When you say that, say Kasim, the man in our community, the superhero in our community, okay? And so now I want to talk to Brother Jahi, because, brother, this is stuff we've been dealing with all throughout, so many years in this community with the Omaha police being disrespectful. I have a letter from Ernie Chambers in the 70s that he wrote to the White House saying that the police harassment of North Omaha residents is out of control. It was so out of control that back then, in 77, I think it was, Brother Rudy White stood up to the police in that bullying, and they killed him, shot him, and then dispatched that they were somewhere else and just let Rudy lay there and bleed. I talked about that. It's on my YouTube. And during that time, there were multiple signs of harassment in North Omaha, from Vivian getting killed, and then they saying there's no charges, to all this stuff that we've been dealing with. And what y'all need to understand is this, y'all. If you're born and raised in Omaha, your mental, your spiritual warfare, your revolutionary spirit is embedded in you. No matter what you do, you can be an entertainer, all the stuff that you do, the revolutionary spirit, even if you move away, is embedded in you. That's what they don't ever want to see here in Omaha. The revolutionary spirit rise. That's why the Black Panthers, after 1 year being here, they imprisoned our Black Panthers, Brother Mondo and Brother Poindexter, and left them there because they didn't want none of us to absorb none of the information. Brother Jahi had the pleasure, not of being in jail, but spending time with Brother Mondo, okay? And so when we have these revolutionary spiritual people out here, understand this, that we are not gone. The revolutionary spirit is not dead. It's within every single person watching this live. Y'all know where it's at. Some of us fight it. We'll drink and drug and party and try to fight the revolutionary spirit burning inside of you. But when this stuff happens, you feel it, because it's in Omaha. The summer of 1919, when these white people went around to all these different states trying to start fights with us and eliminate black people, why do you think they chose Omaha to be one of them cities to do it? Not Elkhorn, not La Vista, not Papillion, Omaha. That's right. They killed Will Brown and accused him of some bullshit, drug him through the streets, took a picture of him on fire, and they was here trying to eliminate black people. Because Omaha has a born revolutionary spirit that cannot die and cannot be killed in one instant. And 24th Street was the stronghold, okay? So I need y'all to understand that Kasim Shabazz, my brother, is 100% revolutionary. His spirit is felt throughout the United States, and these people here know exactly who he is. I had a meeting with the chief one time, and he told me we're doing intel. We've done intel on y'all, and he showed me pictures from Kasim's Facebook, okay, that they pulled off of his Facebook that they've been watching, okay? Let us not forget, this is the type of games they play. We have been setting up these. Kasim is the army builder. X-Watch is more than ready to be launched. We are in a time where revolution will be televised, and we are at a time where the people who I know y'all sometimes make it seem like we crazy and we always on this black stuff that people say to me, y'all always on that black stuff, but the black stuff is what we need right now. And it's embedded in all of y'all. So don't hide from it. Don't fight it. Focus on it. Build with each other. Y'all think the 20 weeks that we've been doing for 5 months is just, oh, they're getting together and coming to eat? No, we down there talking. We strategizing. And luckily, we got people like Pastor Ballard who understands that we need a place for a stronghold. We need a place to hold out. Everybody is trained with guns and firearms, I should say. The body armor, we got to be prepared. And Assembly of the Saints is one of the few churches that do have armed security. All right. So let us talk about, Jahi, what is this that we're facing? What are we dealing with here in Omaha, Nebraska, sir?
Well, brother, the traffic stop, man, wasn't just a traffic stop. They were fully aware of who Bud was and Kasim, and they're fully aware of that, brother. I've talked to many people, that a lot of people, like I think there's been over 20-some people so far that were harassed leaving the celebration, the event, the crescendo, the great accomplishment of Bud Crawford, and all the other people coming around him, you know. Brother Kasim, no, they've been friends since they were children, man. So it's a great story. And they were clearly, you know, you should have probably, you know, the video that I've seen, they're asking them questions. And once they make them aware, the process is once you make law enforcement aware that there is a legally registered firearm and you're asking me questions and I'm responding to your questions and I make you aware that there are legally registered firearms, at that point, things are supposed to de-escalate in the mind of a healthy, psychologically healthy white male that's supposed to be a police officer. When they make you aware of what's in the vehicle, I have a legally registered firearm, officer, then de-escalation ensues. You're taking my safety in consideration. You're taking your safety in consideration. You're making me totally aware of what's in the vehicle. So de-escalation occurs. Why is it that escalation occurred?
Right. And I'm glad you brought up de-escalation because we know they're trained in de-escalation, right? But every single time when it comes to black people, all that training goes out the door of de-escalation, and it's about escalating so I can shoot me a nigga and then say, I was scared for my life and I felt I had to kill this nigga for the safety of me and my partners around the vehicle.
Brother, you listen to the video, Brother Kasim, makes the officer aware of his vehicle. And also, you can hear Kasim, Bud, and all the occupants.
Uh-oh, you dropped out. I do want to address this real quick. Somebody just asked, oh, hold on, you dropped out. You back? Yep. I can hear
you. You can hear all of them, brother, talking the officers through the process.
Yeah.
Trying to calm them down. They are supposed to be the ones that's supposed to be trained. And here they are, the victims, potentially about to be murdered and shot, trying to talk them through their training, trying to appeal to the empathy of psychopaths who've drawn their weapons on you. Another thing, brother, that Brother Kasim was pointing out, the different temperaments in between the officers. There was other officers there that were looking at the other officer, the first psychopath, who was drawing his weapon at Bud's head, and he knew exactly who he was. And we have to understand, brother, these are psychopaths.
Absolutely.
He looking at the other officer like, what are you doing? This is Bud Crawford. We just had a parade. Some of those officers were in the parade, participating in the parade.
In the protection, absolutely.
With the security team.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Now it's nighttime. Y'all become niggas in his mind, and I'm going to pull a gun on you. And understand this, brother. We have to understand this. Those brothers had to be the victims and worried about getting shot and murdered, and then talk to these psychopaths and try to appeal to some type of empathy and sensibility about the circumstance. You're pulling guns and you're asking questions. They're responding appropriately to the questions, and then you're still inching and inching with this psychopathic, racist adrenaline to shoot black people. They were trying to talk them they had to remind them of their training, Brother Sherman.
Yeah.
While they have guns pointed on them. Okay? Right. We're dealing with a pathology of psychopaths.
Yeah.
Okay. And not only that, brother, the mayor was there. The mayor was at this event. So what actually occurred, brother, is, and they do this all the time. Every time there's a gathering with us,
man,
and we're enjoying ourselves, we're being civilized and happy and radiant and celebrating, that bothers them. They basically stalk the whole event.
They did.
Knowing that the mayor was there. How is it, brother, that Bud and all these people get harassed leaving the place?
Because they sat outside waiting for him to leave. And to me, the stop and pulling the gun on Crawford and putting them guns to their head like that is a reminder to them that, nigga, I don't care how much money you got, who you are, we'll take your life if we want to.
Brother, if we think that was a haphazard accident, you are super stupid, okay? And there's a bridge in Paris I like to sell you to. Okay.
Right.
That wasn't no traffic stop. Okay. It was a clear message, and they were fully aware. Okay. I don't care if the officer lost money betting on Canelo, whatever his motivation was. Okay. Brother, they were fully aware that was Bud Crawford, who was a superstar. I was there live. It was absolutely beautiful what he did. His story, okay? Kasim's story, Omaha, Nebraska story that forged that young man and took him to those heights. It is all incredible, brother. And the psychopathic race soldier, okay, it ate away his consciousness. Because the inverse is true. We're not valueless. We're valuable and we're great. Okay. The whole event was targeted by them. They
Right.
want to see how many, look at all these black people dressed up, acting nice, enjoy themselves, celebratory. And then we have the first black elected mayor attending that event.
Right.
There was no fights. There was no arguing. There was nothing but radiance and enjoyment celebrating the great accomplishment of Terrence Bud Crawford, who is a Hall of Famer.
Right.
They didn't know who he was. The world know who he is. We had a whole parade. The whole state came out of all colors to celebrate. We understand the magnitude of what he accomplished.
Absolutely.
They knew Kasim is his security. They know who he is. They didn't know who they were. This was just a haphazard traffic stop. No, brother, we're dealing with a psychopath, and the mayor needs to. He has the power. He needs to exude power, brother, and that officer needs to be held accountable.
Right.
Because basically what he did, brother, is when they draw, and notice that even the officer that didn't have the same temperament as the first psychopath that pulled his gun, who wanted to take Bud Crawford's life because he's a black man showing greatness. That's what this is about.
Yeah. And we done seen it over and over and over again, even just with the fact of this week announcing that they're lumping all 8 cases of police shootings and dismissing them all through a grand jury investigation. And what pisses me off about doing that is you're not looking at these one at a time. You're not looking at the fact that even with Brother Steven, remember when they said he ran and the gun, he pointed it at the officer, he was upside down. Okay. The gun was falling out of his waist. He didn't point nothing. This ain't the Matrix. And that man shot him on the ground 8 motherfucking times. Right. Then you turn around and put him back on the force in South Omaha. And then I think I seen him during Omaha days. They just had a boxing event that he was at, and he was fighting the firefighters. And then you say that all charges is dismissed against everybody, even though there's evidence that they stalked Steven. Them same 2 officers were harassing Steven. But no, none of that matters because now we just gonna kill him and then say nobody's guilty. So who took his life? Who's guilty of taking Steven's life then, if that's the case?
Well, not only that, brother, notice how the officer that pulled a gun, that drew a weapon on Kasim and the other brother, okay, Coach, I can't remember his name, but he's a boxing personality that does a lot of critique of boxing, okay? Coach Malachi is his brother's name. Notice, brother, how that officer had to back up the pathological, psychological, racist behavior of the first psychopath who drew the gun on Bud. Notice he backed him up and drew his gun as well. He didn't agree with him. He knew he was wrong. He knew he was in error, but he backed him up, and he basically pulled himself in the modus of being a racist as well.
Right. Without no de-escalation from nobody.
Notice that.
Around him. You would
and
think that's why people say, oh, there's good cops. So if you're a good cop, why not tell your partner, hey man, chill out. This is Bud.
And the third one as well.
Yeah, they all pulled.
So we have 3 officers, 2 more back up the racist pathological mentality of the race soldier that initiated it. They didn't agree with it. They knew he was wrong. They knew he was erroneous, but they pulled their weapons as well and were going to be complicit in murdering black people unjustifiably.
And that's the history of Omaha. You murder and kill. Oh, there go Angela. She said, not only do they not de-escalate, they overkill. Rest in power, Stephen Phipps Jr. Yeah. it's always an overkill. It's unnecessary. And but this is the history of North Omaha and the Omaha Police Department. Like I said, there's records from Brother Chambers saying it. And like my cousin, who was with Vivian when she got killed, Miss Carol, she said, why didn't they find this officer guilty of shooting a 14-year-old girl in the back of the head that was unarmed running away from you? So it's historic. And not only did they not find him guilty, but when the black people did riot and tear up 24th Street, they decided to double down and not rebuild and arrest everybody and break the spirit of North Omaha. And today is 2025, and we still have no economic growth in North Omaha, which was promised to us by this mayor, current mayor, that he was going to focus on that. And I still want to see him do that. I'm hoping that he does that, but I haven't seen it yet so far. Okay. I want to see the economic growth of North Omaha. And I like what Nikki just said right here. Fuck around and find out Nat Turner's spirit will activate. Come on now. Yep.
Well, here's the thing.
These officers don't get a pass. You know, that's what Shani is saying. Jahi, they don't get a pass, brother.
No, brother. You know, Nat Turner, man, is one of my great prophets, brother. And we have to understand that it's not just an individual or a personality that's a snap in time. It's a spirit, brother, that imbues, and all the warrior spirit will always rise to the occasion. In fact, the black woman's womb produces warriors.
Right.
That's what happened in Haiti. The black women start producing warriors. They start taking young males and teaching them how to be apathetic with their enemy.
Absolutely.
Okay. And so we have to understand this, brother. The big illusion is that they've won the war. They have not won the war. And we can find a rhythm in the war by accepting it. And you just bury the man and you continue with the plan, brother. They haven't won. Caucasian people haven't even been ruling the world that long.
Mm-mm.
And they've been doing a very good, bad job of it. You know, but brother, clearly, brother, they knew who they were. They were targeted. The whole entourage, the whole event was targeted.
Yeah.
We're dealing with the same racist psychopaths who murdered Vivian Strong.
Yeah.
And the chief of police saying that we're blowing things out of proportion. Brother, what is he saying? I mean, he has this duplicitous thing with him that I just can't stomach. I just can't stomach. Is that normal police procedure to draw weapons on people and put guns at their head at a traffic stop? After they espouse, make the officer aware, we have legally registered firearms in the vehicle. And we're making you aware of that for your safety. And then they're responding to their questions appropriately. How does that escalate into the officer positioning himself to take their life? First of all, brother, we have to reject this false narrative just because you're in the commission of a crime or they're investigating a crime, that they can escalate things to the point to where they determine that their life is being threatened. Therefore, I can draw my weapon upon you.
Right.
Okay. All this, well, he was stealing something. Oh, he had a gun. I saw a gun. Okay. Just because you're in the commission of a crime or they're investigating a potential crime does not mean legally that they can draw their weapons and that their life is in danger.
Right.
Okay? We need to stop accepting that false narrative. Okay? That's their propaganda. And a lot of our people have psychologically digested that false narrative. Okay, like the brother that they killed at the county jail, all the police got on top of him. Okay, well, man, he was committing a burglary.
Right.
He got high. It doesn't matter if he was committing a crime or he wasn't in his right state of mind. What threat was there to the officers' lives where they had to take his life?
Right.
Okay, so we need to reject this false narrative. Like the brother, he had a gun, so I shot him. He shouldn't have had a gun, and he shouldn't have been running, and he shouldn't have been a criminal. And all this is, brother, is us trying to find a mental safe space in our enemy's head.
Yep.
There is no mental safe space in his head.
Not. It's not.
He is a psychopath.
They sitting up there trying to justify it. In our minds, we're programmed to justify it. If a black person got a gun, then it's justifiable.
No, if I am black and I am in the commission of a crime, a professional police officer who is psychologically healthy, that we pay, they would take me to jail alive.
Absolutely.
Okay. There's very few circumstances where the officer's life is being threatened.
Yep. And that's what Anthony is saying right here, where they saying they seen a gun on the ground. That's why they drew their weapon. Release the body cam footage, because from what we're being told and what I believe is just like Kasim said, he told him he had his gun. Bud told him he had his gun, and then that's when he started doing that. Don't reach, don't reach, don't reach, all that panicking, talking like they did Philando Castillo after he said he had his firearm. You just start panicking and turning like you said, they make the situation into a life or death with all that talking, not listening, and you shot Philando in front of his family, no matter what we do. So the rules are different for us. We're supposed to announce, but the moment we announce, then you shoot and kill us. So it's different rules for black people carrying firearms, because they say you got a Second Amendment, you can carry your firearm, but the rules are different for us.
Well, the rules and the laws, brother, are obliterated based upon how that white person feels. So if I feel like taking your life, I'm going to do that. That's all this is, brother. That's all it is. Because first of all, so what? There was a gun on the floor. And we know that's a lie. He's lying about that. And notice that the officers, he's trying to graft this narrative that his white life was in danger.
Right.
Their white lives are in danger. And when there's a white life in danger, they can take our lives.
Right. And this is what I want to point out too. Michelle just made a great point. The 360 meeting ain't gonna do shit. Okay. I know everybody is talking about it and saying, some people saying they're gonna go, some people not. And Bree said she know it's gonna be what is gonna happen there today. And I seen somebody else ask, are we going? We not never going back. We went there one time, really, and it was specifically for Hanson. But what happens in those meetings is the police talk about what the community have done, but they never hold the police accountable. They're friends in that meeting, okay? Willie and those people, I'm going to tell you exactly what it is. They've created the false narrative that Omaha and the police, Omaha citizens and the police work together. So there's never going to show or hold the police accountable for nothing that they do ever, because the money comes from being able to travel around the United States and say the police and the community is working together, and then get paid to take this model to other states and say, this is how you get the community and the police to work together. There's nothing going to come out that 360 meeting besides people talking, people yelling, and then talking about the incident, and then that's it. Nothing else is going to come out of that. So you'll be wasting your time going there. So what we've done is develop our own accountability relationship with them, and they know with the police, and they know they're going to have to be held accountable for this. But like Paul said, we'll probably never see the body cam footage because it's going to go against the narrative of what the chief already said is we're blowing it out of proportion. Nothing happened. The officer was calm in his manner. You know, she said, what Hansen are you referring to? We talking about Aaron Hansen, when we had to go there to confront him because he was being a little bitch and running away and not answering our phone calls anymore after we talked to him about Janiti, which usually me, Robert Wagner, we can get a hold of Hansen and talk to him. But he started being a little bitch. So that's why I've lost full respect for him. He's a fucking demon, and he was running away and not answering calls. So when we found out he was going to the 360 meeting, we showed up there to confront him, and that's when Brother Jahi told him he is not allowed to murder our children. We pay them, okay? You don't get paid to be in our meetings. I mean, you don't get paid to come into our community, stalk young black boys, and then shoot and kill them within 2 seconds and lie on TV and say, oh, after we killed Janiti, we did life-saving measures. And then when the family seen the video, you know what they saw? They shot and killed Janiti and then yanked him out the car and threw him on the ground and handcuffed him. There was no life-saving measures, probably way after the fact, but you shot him. And when you opened the door, Janiti was in there like this, shaking with his hands up with gunshot wounds. You yanked him out the car, knowing you just shot him, threw him on the ground, handcuffed him, and then called for backup, doing all this bullshit, and watched that young man lay there and bleed to death. And the video went off after that. You didn't show the rest because you don't want us to see that. Yeah, maybe you did life-saving tactics, but it was way after the fact, after that young man laid there and bled to death. Okay?
Well, brother, I mean, like in Janiti's case, okay, these kids come to his house and bring weapons to his house, call him out of his house, get him in the car, get him high, get him on social media, and then the sheriff just haphazardly pulls up a surveillance sheriff? He just haphazardly pulls up, drives by, and then determines, oh, he pointed a gun at me at least once. At least once? What is that? Is that an open-ended statement? Does he have to do it 3 times? Did he do it 10 times? What do you mean at least once? Right. Okay. Then doubles back, jumps out the car in the dark, yelling and cursing with the door shut and the window up, and fires 4 rounds into the vehicle?
2 seconds of getting up to that window. 2 seconds. You got lights on your car you could have activated. You could have said, this is the police. He never announced who he was. You just a white man at 2:30 in the morning jumping out your car. Show me your hands. Show me your fucking hands. And 2 seconds, as soon as you got up to the car, you shot Janiti. Okay? I'm not trying to hear none of that shit.
And notice, brother, that Sheriff Hansen and that race soldier that murdered him, they grafted this narrative that he pointed a weapon at me. Notice that they always want to create this mantra.
Yep.
This sacred mantra point where their life was in danger. Therefore, I have to murder you.
Right.
And then, brother, how did the white kid, the half-white kid, who it was his mother's car, wasn't even Janiti's car, who drawed him out of the house, how did the one white kid get from 40th and Ames all the way back to Fremont from a murder scene?
Yeah.
From the police. From the sheriff's department.
It's all bullshit.
Okay. And then, brother, we have people who have the nerve to give Sheriff Hansen praise after he hired the chief of police, terminated an officer for murdering a brother in his house in his underwear. He hires that murderer,
right,
promotes him, puts him down in the courthouse so we can walk in the courthouse and look at this murderer in his face and be intimidated by him. Right. And then investigates himself, murders Janiti, and then put that murderer back on the special operations unit.
Full duty.
And then we pay for this?
Full duty.
And then we have black people giving these people accolades and praise and having meetings with them and talking with them.
Full duty. And I like what Miss Jones said. They have the bonds that they have. You can sue them in federal court. Their qualified immunity is gone. How do the officers investigate officers? It's crazy. And like my cousin said, they masters of deflection. And I do have a video. I wasn't going to release it for purposes of the grand jury, but I do have a video that I'm going to show y'all. It's about 30 minutes long, but I won't show it on here. I'm going to do another show because I got to get going. We are still preparing for the funeral of our cousin, Travis Kellogg. So I do have to get ready to take off, but I have a video of the inmate who was with Mr. Edward Henry before he died. And when he came in there, beat up by the police and the complaints and what he talked about. And I'm going to play that as a separate video for y'all because clearly now it don't matter. I was trying to hold it so we wouldn't taint the grand jury and all this. But since they done released this information saying that they not charging nobody with his death either, then I'm going to just put it out to the public so y'all can see for yourself exactly what happened. Okay.
Brother, one of the solutions, brother, let me inject real quick. One of the solutions, before Irish people became honorary white people, they were harassed in Boston by the police. So what they did is they infiltrated the police force. It would make a lot of sense. It is not the solution, but one of the things, because our population is so small here, we need to take 100 of our own young black men and take them down to the police station, enroll them as police, and then we make sure that they police our environment.
Right. Yeah.
That is one solution to this. And there's many more, but that is definitely one. The Irish did that before they became honorary white people. They were oppressed and brutalized by the police in Boston. They infiltrated the police department. They took hundreds of their young men and put them in the police department. And then they became honorary white people after that.
Right. And so, yeah, a lot of people is talking about that body cam footage, and I'm looking at all y'all comments. I really do appreciate y'all engaging and being on here today, because the main thing for me today is to just show that Brother Kasim not only is an active member of our community, but he's a valuable member of our community. And really, right now, with him having all these children in his care, for the Urban Survival Club, the best thing y'all can do to support him right now is donate to this Cash App, please. And because he do have a lot of boys that he's dealing with on a daily basis, teaching him how to hunt, how to fish, and he's building our army. And I already say this all the time, but I know y'all talk about the YNs but you know what I'm gonna tell you? We have the generation of people turning the other cheek. And then we got the generation of soldiers that's ready for war. Them people that y'all see, those are just untrained soldiers that's ready for war. They have no guidance. They have no generals. And us, Generation X people, we're the generals. We have to step outside of the box and stop being afraid of them and get out here and actually show them, train them. And this is what Kasim is doing. Train them and show them where the enemy lies, where their energy need to be, because an untrained army implodes on itself. And that's what we see, an untrained army killing themselves. All of our young black men and women that's going through this violence, they're built for the war. They're built for the violence. It's just they are untrained. We have to make sure, like she said, going to the gun range, we need to make sure that we're training them and showing them the real of what that energy and why they got that energy. Because that is our army, and why everybody talks down on them and everything. I'm telling you right now, if something jump off in Omaha, that's going to be the frontline soldiers, because they not afraid. They not scared of gunplay. They not scared of nothing. And that's why I love them, and I won't ever give up on them. We won't ever give up on them, because those children, those young people, that was the birth of our army. And black people is the only people who's never fought back besides Nat Turner, and you got some historical events, but we have not fought back for our freedom. We have not fought back for the murders that happened with us, unarmed black men. We have to stop it, y'all. And I'm not saying, oh, let's pick up our guns and go to war with the police, but we need to be strategic. We need to be ready for whatever's coming, and understand this, that what y'all seeing right now with Trump yesterday telling the military that your training is going to take place in the United States on the streets from now on. We're going to normalize putting military in the neighborhood communities. That's your training. And he told the military generals, I need y'all to start putting y'all hands on these new trainees. All that yelling in their face, that don't do shit. Put your hands on them. You can touch them now. And make sure that if you don't like it, then if you don't like it, get up and walk out now. None of those generals got up and walked out. They didn't. They stayed because they know that this is exactly what he want is to normalize martial law with the police and the generals. I mean, with the armies in our communities. Then y'all think on the other front, because that militarizing the military into the communities, that's just making it so we are not feeling normal when we see them later on to come. And then building those detention camps that they saying is for immigrants now. You're not building something that's just going to be temporary, because once you're done with the immigrants, then what? Those camps will be used for black, white, anybody who goes against the system. Okay? And if you and your family is a part of the resistance, because in every battle, there's a resistance. If you're a part of the resistance, that's where they're going to plan on putting you, into those camps. Okay?
Well, here's the thing too, brother. The impotent white male is being used to create the prison that he will find himself imprisoned in. Okay. Trump has stoked the redneck right males, the whole redneck right wing, okay, MAGA morons. That's why you see the overkill with that officer pulling a gun at Bud Crawford's head.
Right.
Okay. And you're seeing this fervent mentality across the country. But here's the thing about these nationalistic bozos, okay? Donald Trump is actually a paper tiger. He's a globalist Zionist whore. He's been compromised. He's working with Peter Thiel and Larry Ellison to create a national surveillance grid. So what they're doing is they're implementing the Hegelian principle of change, okay? They are going to go to Chicago, all the places where there's economic depravity and chaos, and bring in militarized forces. Now the white nationalists, they're cheering. Yeah, we're cleaning things up. We're getting things under control. But this is what they don't understand. Black people are the beta test on what they want to do to you first. Okay? So what they want to do to the national white population, they test it on black people first. So they're giving us the optics of militarized units right at your front door, telling you where you can go, telling you what you can do. And the pretext, the white people are cheering for it because Trump is going to do this and started off this beta experiment on the black population. And then they're going to transition it, Brother Sherman, to everybody, to the whites.
Mm-hmm.
So these whites, they can always count on these impotent airhead white males, like the idiots that pulled the guns on Brother Kasim and on Bud. Okay, they're stoking their ignorance to use them to create the prison that all of us need to be in. And these MAGA morons don't realize you'll be in that prison too. The globalist agenda, brother, is they're going to eat their own.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to eat their own.
Right.
And Brother Kasim and Brother Bud, it's interesting. It's a tragedy that this happened. But sometimes, brother, you have to set the house ablaze to save it from the plague.
Yep.
Okay. Now, you did this to an individual that has the money and the resources to deal with you.
Right.
And he has undercurrent of the community to back him as well. So he has the money and the resources to take this as far as he needs to.
Right.
Okay. And it's sad, but we have to clearly understand what happened to Bud and Kasim happens in North Omaha
all the time. All the time. And it's sad that it takes for this for people to notice it, and then we talk about it all the time. And I've seen some people saying, hey, what about me? It happened to me. But we talk about it so much that it's almost like we beating a dead horse. And then, like I said, people say y'all always on that black stuff. But like Miss Jean said, what does that mean? What is black stuff? Because what else is there to be on? So I do want to end with this. Okay. I want to end with making sure that the people understand that Brother Kasim is, for us, he is a hero. He is necessary. The children look up to him. The people look up to him. We love him. We need him. We must protect him. All of us need protection. We stay protected. We try our best to protect ourselves. We have no fear. And we know our ancestors is with us. But please, if you have anything that you can spare, make sure that you are donating to USC Omaha 24 on Cash App. And if you need PayPal links or any of that stuff, you got other forms of payment, let me know. But I mean, to be honest, man, like Brother Kasim right now is in need, of financial support, because with the work that he do, he not gonna get major grants and stuff like that, because he's all about black empowerment, black individuality, us being able to take care of us first, and black nationalism, and that is not supported in a red state. Okay, all right, so I'm gonna get off of here. I gotta take off. Brother Jaheed, as always, I appreciate you for hopping in with me, brother. And then again, like I said, this next video I'm gonna do is going to be on that guy who was there with Mr. Henry. I have a nursing home video I need to take care of. And yeah, this Sunday we got the African diaspora coming up. So we'll be celebrating the different parts of Africa at our 20 weeks from 4 to 7 today at Sunday at Assembly of the Saints. Just make sure that y'all tune in, stay tuned. And like I said, don't think that on Sundays it's just a celebration. We're strategizing, we're talking. It's very important that people get to understand what's actually going on in the community. Yes, I do have an LLC, and Robert Wagner is where Robert Wagner, he's everywhere. Brother Robert is with us 100%. And yeah, he's definitely 100% a part of the movement. Robert is always a force. He does his things the way he does his things, but I support Robert 100%. Yeah. Brother Jaheed, you want to leave the people with anything?
Just accept the rhythm in the war, family. The ancestors are with us, and they haven't won the war.
No. All right, y'all. Peace and hair grease. Much love. And again, make sure if you can donate to USC Omaha to help Brother Kasim. All right. Peace.
Peace.